Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Connecting Small Businesses to Resources and Funding. I'm happy to introduce you to Narbeli Galindo from MCEDC, who is going to share information for us. This presentation is being recorded and it will be available on our website afterwards. So welcome. Please stay muted and take yourself off camera for this presentation. And I'll just keep admitting people as they come in, okay? I want to make sure we stay on time here. So again, I'm going to mute everybody and please stay off camera.
But we figured it out and don't talk side down.
There you go. Okay, Narbeli, you can start your presentation.
All right. Well, welcome to happy Monday for all of you. And thanks, Margie, for having me today. This morning, I really appreciate that opportunity to talk to everyone about MCEDC, or Montgomery County Economic Development Corporation. And what do we do? How can we help? And some of the resources that we offer. So a little bit about myself, and let me see if I can get this slide to move on me. Let's see here. Just a little bit of my background. I'm not going to go over all this, but one of the reasons I work with Montgomery County Economic Development Corporation, or MCEDC for short, is due to my background. So prior to joining MCEDC, I used to work in the corporate world. I used to work with Pfizer, work with AT&T and Sprint, did all international work for them. So I was constantly traveling and expanding their services overseas. And I did that for many, many years until I was asked to see if I had an interest to run my own company after I left Sprint in Kansas City. And I ended up running a importing company for 11 years. So allows me to learn what it's like to be a business owner. So that's one of the things that when I talk to any of the business owners, believe me, I've been there. I understand what it's like to have to wear so many hats as a business owner. So I ran a company in international trade for 11 years. And then I was asked by the Mayor's Office of Kansas City, Missouri, to become the Director of International Affairs. And so I became the Director in the International Affairs for the City of Kansas City, Missouri for about 6-7 years. Once the new mayor came on board, I stepped down and I ran my own consulting firm in international trade and became a professor of international trade and finance. And then after that, it was time to come home. I was already gone for too long and my family's here in Maryland and in Virginia. And so I made that move here about a year ago. So now I started with MCEDC about a little bit over a year ago now. And my role is to basically be the business community engagement manager of diversity and inclusion. And that means that I concentrate on helping all underserved community businesses to get to the next level, to get resources, funding, site selection, any way that I can to help them grow in Montgomery County, or attract them to Montgomery County, or expand them, or help them expand if they're already here. A little bit about my education: got a degree in finance, went to Thunderbird, which is a very international school, for my master's degree, did some certifications in Harvard Business School, and I'm working in my IEDC certification for economic development. So what is my main role? And it's basically, like I said, I am working in helping the underserved communities such as disabled, veterans, LGBTQ, minority, women-owned businesses. And the goal is to basically help them with all the resources possible. So today, I am going to go over some of the resources, some of the programs, and I would like you guys to ask any questions you guys have as I'm going through some of these slides. So first of all, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Montgomery County Economic Development Corporation. So we are an entity from the government. And just to give you an idea, we are a public-private economic development organization representing Montgomery County, Maryland. We were created in 2016, so we're fairly new. And our mission is to help businesses start, grow, relocate to Montgomery County by helping them with getting top talent. And I'll talk about some grants there with some other of our partners. Help them with business and market intelligence and finding locations if you're looking for site selection and additional funding. If you want to know more about all the things that I'm going to be talking about, you can also go to our website. We also have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and our website here has a video about who we are and what we're doing. Our website just got recently redone. And so we have added much more in different industries. So you should definitely check our website when you have a chance. One thing that I also mentioned is don't forget to sign for our newsletter. Our newsletter allows you to learn about new programs that we are developing or partnerships that we have. And it gives you, instead of me having to talk to you quite often, you can just go sign for the newsletter and you get an update for any new programs that we get, that we work on. So a little bit more about some of you, I would love to find out, and I don't know if all of you are in Montgomery County, but I will always kind of try to talk to them about, to the businesses, what is the benefits of Montgomery County? And I'm sure that Margie has mentioned this too in her other events and meetings. But we are why Montgomery County? Why do we decide to ask companies to consider us as a place of business? 4 of our communities are ranked as the most 10 diverse in the nation. Rockville, number 1, Silver Spring, Germantown, Gettysburg. And so we find out that a lot of businesses find that there's quite a bit of business in this area. It's the largest county in Maryland. It's very diverse. 1 of 3 residents are foreign born. 138 languages are spoken in the Montgomery County area. I think that number is now higher now. I believe the last time that we checked was maybe up to 150 languages are spoken in our area and our county. Montgomery County Business School supports gender identity. 54% of residents are non-white and 45% are minority owned. So imagine that I work with a lot of businesses. I tend to do a lot of virtual meetings, one-on-ones with all these businesses to better understand their business and assist them with resources. And you'll be surprised how many businesses are really, the majority are in the minority sector. What are some of the top industries? So we have, and what are some of the key areas for our county? So we have top talent. We have one of the top universities, high school, universities, colleges in this area. Very well connected. We have different locations. Infrastructure is great. 3 airports. We're connected pretty much through different highways. Connectivity is key for us. Innovation. You'll find that a lot of businesses here that are, recently we did a trip to India and Vietnam, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. And some of these companies are coming with the highest innovations and ideas that are implemented in Montgomery County. I mentioned earlier, it's very diverse. Access to capital. And I noticed that someone joined, Sean Smith joined, and I might ask him to talk about a little bit of some of his funding a little bit later too. But we also provide grants, loans that I'm going to talk about that. And we partner with other organizations that also help with some of the funding. So there's access to capital. I mentioned top schools, infrastructuring, and sustainability. So we're very good in collaborating with a lot of different industries and different entities and partnerships. So I mentioned the industries earlier. We are known for biotech, life sciences, cybersecurity, tech and quantum computing, advanced manufacturing, hospitality and tourism. You know, that's a huge, we have the Marriott in our area, financial services, nonprofit. And one of the ones that I like to mention here is also entrepreneurship. It's a big industry. There's a lot of new businesses coming to our area. And that is one of the ones that I tend to meet quite a bit of those business owners looking to grow, looking to learn about how to run their business in our county. So a little bit more about Montgomery County demographics. I mentioned we're #1 wealthiest in the U.S. And so that's amazing that we are a very wealthy county. We're #4 of the most diverse, as I mentioned earlier. Here is the statistics that I mentioned earlier, 150 languages spoken, 3 new airports nearby, which allows you to take your products overseas or to around the United States, or your services as well. One of the things that I think is great, we have 400 parks. I don't know if any of you guys are golfers, but I play golf and I love to go and play golf. And there's so many options for us to do that. But 400 parks in this area. Population about over 1 million. We are a very young population, 39 years old in medium age, very young population. And so that allows for businesses that are looking to open and hire people. We have quite a bit of talent, young population, and also you see the education that I mentioned earlier. We talked about foreign born. and housing. So let me move to the next slide. It tells a little bit more of the data. So in Montgomery County, the median household income is about 106,297. In Maryland is 81,868, and overall the United States is 60,296. So that shows how much we're very wealthy, and people eventually earn more in this area as well. It's a little bit expensive, but they earn more at the same time. Education, this is the part that I always tell businesses, if you're looking to open business, you're looking to expand or come to Montgomery County, we will help you with talent. There's a huge percentage of those with already a degree, all the way from high school to undergrad and to grad school or postgrad to MBAs or PhDs. 91% are already with high school or higher. And then when we break down the ethnic background, 43% are white, 19 Black, 20% are Hispanic and Latino, 15 are Asian, and 3% are other. So it's quite a bit of a diversity that we have in this county. And I put here this is a presentation that Margie's going to put in the website, and you guys can also click on some of these links that I shared, so you can go back and look at more of the demographics and more of the data as well. So let me tell you a little bit more about MCEDC and what do we do and how do we help you. So I wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of Montgomery County. And if some of you are not already in Montgomery County, that's the reason why I want to share with you the importance of being in this county. But we are a organization that likes to help you to grow in your business, to start your business or grow your business in Montgomery County. I partner with a lot of different institutions, a lot of different organizations, and I'm going to go through them in this presentation. Why do we partner with them? Is because we want you to be sure that you have the right resource to open your business, the right resource to grow your business, the right resource to relocate your business to Montgomery County. We help you with grants, we'll help you with funding, incentives, tax credit programs, and we help you with simple training or mentorship as well. One, for you to consider us to be the go resource to your business. And so we provide you with as much different connections as possible. Oops, I went back. So here is a little bit, I'm going to slow down here. So here are some of our partnerships. Who do I work with the most? Who do we work and try to help you the most? WorkSource Montgomery, if you have not worked with them already, they are the organization that will help you with finding talent. Currently, they have a program. If you've been in business since 2020 and you could have gotten affected by COVID, they have a new grant now that for every full-time person that you hire, they give you $5,000. For every part-time person that you hire, they give you $2,500. If you're looking to hire people in Montgomery, you need training for them, they will help you with some funding as well. Well, these people are going through training, they help you with some of their salaries, 3 to 6 months salaries. So if that's one of you that is looking to hire, please talk to me. I'd like to make the connection with WorkSource Montgomery so you can take advantage of some of these programs. Visit Montgomery. It's another organization that is actually based in our office. So we are in the same office. The Montgomery County Business Center, that's the organization that I would connect you if you're looking to have a permit, licensing, or need to know any requirements on how to run your business. The Maryland Department of Commerce, they have also some grants and some loans, and they have many, many opportunities for you to learn from them, whether you're in a specific industry, whether you're looking to grow. But the the Maryland Department of Commerce has a lot of different. I'm happy to also put in the next slide, I put the link for them there so you can check their programs as well. We work with Rockville, Rochelle Wilson, does a program ready, and she actually promotes the same MOVE grant that we have, and I'll explain when I get to that program how it works. Theirs is exactly the same as ours, except for 3 different things that I'll mention a little bit later about that grant that they have, a MOVE grant. We work with Gettysburg Economic Development. We work with the Maryland Women Business Center. And that's an organization that can help you with developing your business plans and help you with marketing, help you with so many different training and mentorships and more funding as well. Maryland Small Business Development Center, the Latino Economic Development Center, that's one that I'll mention a little bit later. We partner with them. When I mentioned the Maryland Women's Business Center and the Latino Economic Development Center, it is not all for women and it's not all for Latinos, it's for everyone. So I always want to emphasize that, because if we have any gentlemen that are looking to get help, like for a business plan, you can go to the Maryland Women's Center, and you don't have to be a woman. It's just they like to women to attract more women, Latino to attract more Latinos, but it's for everyone. So going back to the Latino Economic Development Center, we partner with them to bring a loan called ACE loan, and a loan that allows small business to get more funding. And I'm going to go over that in details a little bit later. But that organization, we work very closely with them for a particular loan. The Maryland Tech Council, that TEDCO for a lot of business that do a lot of IT. And if you're looking for funding, looking for training, mentorship, TEDCO is a great organization that I can connect you with. We work with, the Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce and many other chambers as well. And many other organizations here, universities, colleges, for talent and also for programs that they offer, and many more. So I'm going to go to the next slide and share with you something that is very important. In our website, we have something called Montgomery County Economic Development Resource Guide. It is done in English and in Spanish. If you click on the link, it will open a little booklet. And the booklet will have, I think if I'm not incorrect, we might be up to about 25 pages long. But it has every organization in Montgomery County. Anything you want to know about, who do I contact for funding, resources for mentorship, resources for chambers events, resources for women-owned businesses, veterans, LGBTQ, everything is in this booklet. So we tend to add as many organizations as we run into them, as we work with them, so that everything's in one location. So this booklet is critical for you to be able to find anything that you want to know about Montgomery County. So we did it in both languages, and once you get this presentation, you can click on that link and it will open the booklet for you to have. So now let me slow down and talk to you a little bit more about those fundings and also about the program. So here is what I did. I put together all these links for all these different organizations that I mentioned to you. One that I didn't mention is the Governor's Office of Small Minority and Women-Owned Businesses. We're going to be working with them and some other their certificates that they give for different types of businesses. So we partner and work with them very closely. Another one that I didn't mention earlier is our SCORE, and that is for small business looking to get some mentorship, help entrepreneurs to understand how to run a business. So we have here some consulting and some mentorship as well. And county resources for small businesses. So we have so here, once you click in these links, it will open those resources for you to navigate the programs and who to contact. In the event that you want to meet with some of these organizations and you're not able to get a response, contact me, because that's what I do. I connect you to the right person if you're not able to get some responses back. But we're connectors to all these organizations in Montgomery County. All right, now let's talk about something fun, and that is getting money. How do business get money, and how do we help you grow? So I'm going to talk to you about specific funding and programs that we currently have, and I'm hoping that some of you are able to take advantage of them. So I'm going to in detail discuss some of the incentives packages. I'm going to talk about the ACE loan program and the MOVE grant. And I'll mention a couple other programs that are with the state that could be of interest to you. And if you have an interest to connect with them, happy to do that as well. So I'll start with the ACE loan, Accelerating Community Excellence. That's the one that we partnered with the Latino Economic Development Center. And what we did was many businesses have a very difficult time finding funding when they go to banks, when they go to institutions. Most of them have all these different requirements, and some of them are a challenge for them to meet. So this ACE loan was created with the partnership with Latino Economic Development Center. And that was mainly to help them out find funding that wouldn't be so difficult to obtain. The funds are coming, it's about $1.5 million that came from the proceeds of the video lottery terminals that assist minority, small, and women-owned businesses. And anyone can apply to it. You do not have to be in Montgomery County. You can be a Maryland company. So as long as you're in Maryland, you can apply for this loan. You don't have to be in Montgomery County, but it has to be in Maryland. And what's so good about this loan is that there is no minimum requirement of credit score. So don't worry about your credit score. There's no minimum requirement. There's no minimum requirement to the business having revenue. So if you're a fairly new business in town and you're just trying to get going and you need some loans, there's no minimum requirement of your revenue. And there's no minimum requirement of years in service. So this could be for any new company just starting their business. What I would say about this loan is it has all these no minimum requirements, but realize that it's a loan. So you have to find ways that you can show that you can pay the loan. And I'll explain to you how it works, the interest rates, and how do you go about approving and the process of this loan. So you can apply for a loan as little as $2,500 or as much as $250,000. And the interest rates are fairly good. It's a fixed annual interest rate of about 4.5%, which is fairly good at this time of, with inflation and all that. And also up to 12%, depending on your specific case. So let's say that you're gonna borrow more than $50,000, then the interest rate might not be the 4.5%, might be a little bit higher than that. You will be assigned a loan officer by the Latino Economic Development Center, so they can guide you of how much money you might be able to borrow and what will be your interest rate. So you will be pre-qualified before you get the loan or get approved. The loan can be paid within 6 months to up to 10 years. And if you pay the loan a little bit earlier, there's no penalty. So it's up to you to determine how quickly you can pay your loan. But it's money that is there for you to be able to run your business, help you out grow. And so the percentage of the interest rate and the time frame is to help you out utilize those funds. There's no payment penalties. Like I said, you can pay it earlier. And there's a small fee of about $50 to apply and a closing fee of 3%. So that's all the fees that you will get for this loan. There's a collateral requirement. Again, you have to show that you can pay this loan. And I always tell businesses, if you have a part-time job, if you have enough clients, if you have collateral of some sort to show that the loan can be paid back, that's all pretty much you need to be able to be pre-qualified for this loan. So I mentioned earlier that if you apply for a loan, $50,000 below will be about 4.5%, and more than that, about 12 or less, depending on your case. How long does it take to get your loan? If you apply for $50,000, it can take between 2 to 4 weeks. And you apply more than $50,000, it can take you between 4 to 8 weeks to get your loan. So it's not really that long. It's just going through the steps in the process. And then this presentation that I'll leave with Margie, you will click on this to check and apply for the loan if you have an interest on this particular loan and get assigned a loan officer to help you out. I don't know if anyone has any questions, so we want to do Q&A at the end, but if anyone has any questions, please interrupt me and I'm happy to answer them. And I don't see any, yeah. So if there's anyone interested in actually, please interrupt me. It's not a problem. All right. So I'll go next to the next one that is basically the one that is for a grant. And that is what I call the MOVE grant. I'm sorry, before I move to MOVE grant, the last thing about this that I already mentioned. Here's a link to apply for it. And you'll be assigned a loan officer and a little bit of how you get approved. So that's kind of like what I mentioned earlier. But for the MOVE grant, this is a grant, meaning that you don't have to pay this money back. So again, if we go back to what happened with COVID, we realized that many businesses had to go back home and they have to leave their office spaces. And so there were a lot of empty office spaces that we felt that maybe we needed to help business get back to the office location. If you're working from home and you think that you don't want to bring your clients to your house, or you're growing fast enough that you need to have, this could be the grant for you. Or if you're in another county and you're looking to expand into Montgomery County for the first time, this could be a good grant for you. So it's for first-time leasers looking for office spaces. So I'm going to explain how you can get this grant and what are some of the requirements. So this MOVE grant is for those that are looking to get a lease for the first time. And I always say to every business, if you're looking to sign a lease, please check with me first for this reason. There are some qualifications to get approved. First of all, the space of the office that you're going to be leasing has to be classification A or B. What does that mean? Every building has a classification. A classification A are those that are fairly new buildings, office spaces are fairly new. It has a lot of new innovation, conferences room. It's a very new structure. Classification B is much older buildings, office spaces that are older. Sometimes comes to be classification C, which is usually industrial or retail. And to every business owner, let's say you find an office in a classification C. It's an older building. check with me. I look at the report in CodeStar, which is one of the softwares that we use to check the classifications. I look at the report, and if I see that that report says it's an office building, classification C, everything in the building shows that it's an office space, I will help you, giving you a contact in CoStar for you to call them and ask them if they can change that classification to a B, because that is possible. And if that's the location that you want to go to, but it says classification C, which wouldn't qualify you for the move grant, but it shows in the report that it's all office space, there's a very good likelihood that they will change the classification to a B and you will qualify for the grant. So before you sign any lease, if you have an interest, check with me and I assist you in helping you decide what classification it is so you will qualify for this grant. How much money would you get in this grant? You can get up to $80,000. And how is that determined? Is determined by the size of the office. So I always give the example. Let's say that you have 1,000 square feet office. We pay $8 for a square foot of that office. So that would be 8 times 1,000, $8,000 what you get. So the maximum that we give you is for a 10,000 square foot office, which would be $80,000. Let's say your office is larger than 10,000. That's okay. But the maximum that you'll get will be the 80,000. I had mentioned to all of you about Rockville. They have the same move grant. The difference with them is that they pay $4 instead of $8. And you can apply for theirs as well as ours at the same time. So like in the example that I gave you, if you get to $8,000, you can apply for the same one they have. They will give you $4,000. So at that point, you're getting $12,000 total. And so it's a great thing because if you end up in Rockville, now you can apply for both grants. The other requirement that we have here is, let's say that you find an office space that you like and you're going to send a lease for it. You sign the lease. It has to be minimum 36 months of a lease. And why do we want you to be there for 3 years? Because we want your business to grow. We want to be sure that you're still running business 3 years from now. The money is given to you with the hope that you're running business 3 years and above. And so you're not sign a lease for 1 year and a year later you're done. We want that money to be for your growth. So it has to be a minimum of 36 months. And so let's say you sign the lease, you have 90 days to apply from the time you sign the lease to the applying for the grant. We want to be sure that we keep those 90 days to keep the money for you. If you sign the lease and then after 90 days you come and say, oh, I forgot to apply for the grant, unfortunately, that might be too late because we cannot keep money holding. We have to give it to other people that might need it as well. So we give 90 days time frame for them to, sign the lease and apply for the grant. And here is the link to apply for the grant. The other thing that we need also as requirements, and before I move to the next slide, let me see, there you go. There are 4 documents that I will need for the business. One of them is the business plan. Everyone has a business plan. So we want to be sure that we can look at the business plan. The other thing that we have is the other requirement is your lease. The lease that the lease is going to show me the address. It's going to show me the location so I can check out the classification. It's going to show me also the duration. And it's going to show me if by any chance your space has already utilities included. Because the 4th document or the 3rd document that I'm going to need is business plan, the lease, an articles of organization, and a copy of your utility bill. So that can be your electricity, your water, your cable, your internet. I want to get that utility bill so we can check that you already moved in, that you're already there, and it's part of your business. So that will show us. But if the lease has everything included, we just need to see that in your lease so we don't require the 4th document. So those are the 4 documents that we need. Once you provide with those 4 documents, the next steps are, I will look at you apply for the move grant online. The application will be sent to me. To me or someone else, depending on how you, if you decide to work with someone else at MCEDC, it's okay. But if you're working with me, then will come to me. I will require those 4 documents. I will review them all. And then I will check that you're in good standing. I will check that everything is met expectations. And then I will recommend you to the finance department of the county saying this company meets all requirements, has all documents, and I'm recommending them to get a move grant for this amount. So I'll take the $8 times the square footage, and I'll say this is how much money I will recommend them to receive. Once the finance county receive your application and my paperwork, It takes them about 2 to 3 weeks the most to get your money to you. And the way that will come is you will get an email saying, congratulations, you've been approved for the MOVE grant. Please become a vendor so that you can collect your money from their account and you can retrieve the money and you can use it whichever way. I've been asked by businesses, is there anything that I cannot do with that money? The only thing that I've always said to them is don't gamble it. Use it for whatever you need to, but don't gamble that money. That's the only thing I would say. But it's money that you can use whichever way. If you need it for renovating the space, if you need it for equipment, if you need it for hiring people, whatever you need to use it for, go ahead and use that money, whichever you need it. The only way that we will ever come back to you and say we need the money back is only if you break the lease. That would be the only requirement. We want you to continue to keep those for those 36 months. So that is one of the ones that I mentioned that is money that you can use, money doesn't have to pay back, money that we have to help you to get a space in Montgomery County. A couple other things that I have here that I want to share is other funding and other organizations that because it's important that you know that we're not the only ones providing funding. There's many other partners that can give you assistance. I mentioned the Department of Commerce, so I added here the link that takes you to all these different grants and loans that they have. And that can be based on your industry, can be based on the kind of business you have, can be based on the years that you've been in business, can be local and global. Let's say that you're looking to find clients overseas. They have funding to help you go overseas to other markets. And I'll talk about another program in my next slide about going overseas. There is microloan programs as well through the Latino Economic Development Center and the Live Assets. Currently, I'm developing a template that gives me all the funding available in Montgomery County and for business-owned, veterans, minority, disabled. It's because not everything applies to everyone, but some of them will apply to your particular case. So if something that I mentioned today does not apply to you today, there might be other funding that I can definitely recommend you to go to. I mentioned the WorkSource Montgomery, and that is the organization that can help you with the grants for hiring. I would say that 99% of the businesses that are growing are always looking to hire. And if you're one of those companies that are looking to hire part-time or full-time, you might want to take advantage of some of the grants and some of the training because they have funding for that right now. And then we did a webinar in English and Spanish on all different types of funding, and that was done last year, and I have it here, but it's also on our website. Lastly is the international funding. So there's something called Export MD. That is with the Maryland Department of Commerce on the Trade and International Office. So some of you might have heard that last year, the county, Montgomery County, went to India and Vietnam. And I was part of that group of people that work in putting this together for our county executive. That was something that was put together because we wanted business to realize that there is a lot of different opportunities for those businesses to go overseas and sell your products or get vendors in other markets. Partner with people overseas. So the Department of Commerce, the Department of Commerce of the International Trade Office has every year something called Export MD, and it's a grant of $5,000. So let's say that you decide to go to one of these trips. There's going to be another trip coming up next month in March. They're going to Taiwan. There's going to be a couple other trips going to South Korea and China. And there's going to be more trips that we will announce as we go with the county. You are allowed to apply for some of these export grants so that they can give you $5,000 to reimburse you for you to go to these business trips. And that means they'll give you funding for your airfare, your hotel, any conference fees that you have to go to, any specific expenses, and they'll guide you of what is it that you can do and how do you provide to them the receipts so you can get some funding back or some money back for those trips. And then Global Gateway is basically those that we provide also funding or incentives for companies coming here to the US, wanting to open offices here from a foreign country to Montgomery County and Maryland. And we give them incentives to come here. We want them to open their offices here because those can be companies that can help you with partnering with you or working with you directly. So we also do incent them to come into our state and our county as well. Last thing that I'll mention here, so I can open up for questions and be able to expand on anything else that I've gone through, because it's a lot of information, is that we also work with all kind of chambers. This is something that I was mentioning, Margie and I were on Friday, and I tend to go to a lot of these ribbon cuttings. I always tell companies, if you're a brand new company and you're looking to expand or looking to open an office, please consider to work with your chamber. In Rockville, we went one on Friday, there was one on Saturday, there's all these different, there's going to be one in March. We go to all these ribbon cuttings. I highly recommend that if you're a business looking to expand, looking to grow, work with the Rockville Chamber of Commerce, because what happens is, as Margie will tell you, they will help you put you in the directory as members, so people know that you are in Rockville now. They will help you let people know that you are in town by doing a ribbon cutting. They will help you understand what other resources are available. It's basically great opportunity for you to be involved in your community through your chamber. And I don't know if Margie, you want to share anything more about that? But go
Yeah,
ahead.
do you want to stop sharing your screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then just lastly, at the end, my contact information is there in case you need to get a hold of me. But I'll share this with Margie so that you can share this with you guys afterwards. Okay.
Yeah, I'll send this out to everybody. Let's see. And I just want to thank everybody for coming on today. And I want to thank you so much, Narbelli, for presenting. We didn't have enough time to market this, so that's why I recorded it and we'll be sending it out. It will also be sitting on our website under where our blogs are, so you can always refer back to this. But I will send the presentation out to you, as well as the recording will be on the website. And a couple things, the chambers all partner with all the organizations that you saw on her slides too. All the chambers meet every month together. And then, you know, if someone asks me and I don't know, I know who does know. So, you know, we all work very closely together. And then I just want to put in a plug for our business expo that's coming up on Wednesday from 9 to noon at Lakewood Country Club. It's free and open to the public. Come meet some Rockville businesses, and we'd love to have you. So does anybody have any questions?
Anything on the funding or the resources or site selection, anything that might be important that I can expand on?
You can unmute yourself and do your pictures again if you want.
I had a question about the joining the chamber of Rockville. I went to a meeting, I think it was like a mixer about 2 weeks ago, and I spoke to a few individuals. I was wondering if I could get on some type of email list. So I
Yeah,
could.
Sean, why don't you give me a call afterwards? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know Sean, and I want Sean to give you guys a little bit of of his company, what he does, because actually Sean and I have partnered together in some funding. And so Sean, would you like to share a little bit of your business too? Because I think that might be good for the rest of the people attending.
Yes. So thank you for that introduction. So I'm Sean Smith from King Capital Direct, and I help startups and existing businesses with working capital, commercial real estate, and equipment loans. So I have a particular product for startups. So I got over 200 different lending partners, but for startups, I have like a 0 interest program for 18 to 21 months. And all they need is a 680 credit score. The money is unsecured, and they just can't have full inquiries on their credit report for a 12-year period. And we also do larger stuff. Narbelli sent the customer over. I was able to get him $250,000 for a line of credit. So we have a wide range of products. I like to do an assessment on the client because a lot of the times I see they're not ready, but they don't know how to get ready. So it's a lot of coaching involved with this as well. So, I want to kind of, be a resource to let these people know, how to help.
And I wanted to mention that because I think it's Sean for that. We have all kind of different funding available. Small business usually have a difficult time finding things. So they go to banks, they go to institutions. And so if the MOVE grant doesn't apply to you because you just already have an office in place, or the ACE loan for whatever reason doesn't apply, there are banks that are like, I also noticed here, AMT Bank is also one that we partner with and work with. But we really want to be sure that every business realizes that we are here to connect you to the right resources, whether it's our programs, our partnerships, or other organizations or other institutions that we work with. And so that's a reason why I mentioned to Sean, because I have sent, like he mentioned, clients to him, and he has to be able to help him as well. I'll help them as well.
It's a
Any-
great resource.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This has been very helpful.
Okay. I don't know if there's any other questions.
Hi, Narelli. Hi, this is Belinda. I was wondering if Sean could put his contact information in the comment. That would be very, very helpful.
Definitely. No, I'm
Thank
glad-
you.
Yeah, no, this is good. And like I said, I know that I could only use 2 programs, but there is quite a bit of different resources, loans, grants. It's a matter of identifying your particular case to what exactly are you looking to do? Are you looking to grow your business? Are you looking to start a business? Are you looking to expand your business? Are you looking to hire? Are you looking to get any kind of licensing permits, requirements? Whatever your case may be, we're here, MCC is here to help you find those resources and help you get to the right place. And so that's kind of how and site selection, that's one thing that is very big. We get a lot of business coming to us says, I'm looking to find a lab. I'm looking to find a manufacturing facility. I'm looking to find a lot of doctors are looking for medical buildings. What other occasions do I have? Right now I'm looking for one person came to me, he says he's looking to open so if anyone knows this, we're looking to help them find a farm for a boarding facility for dogs. So we connect them to brokers that we kind of have worked with before. We look through the CoStar and we're trying to assist you find the right location in our county. So we see it all, which is pretty much the reason why I joined is, I wanted to talk to you is because we help you whichever way we can to find the right resource. Any other questions or thoughts?
Well,
like-
thank you so much. Like I said, we'll be sending this presentation out. I want to thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Margie. Thanks for having me. And like I said, my contact information is in the presentation. If you want to meet with me one-on-one, happy to assist and help you out whichever way we can. Thanks for having me.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, Narelli and Marge. This was great. This is great
you.
to go back